Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Tuesday, September 8th. Today we will continue to have strong winds across the area, and they will be focused mainly over the southern and eastern half of Nevada into western and southern Utah. The cold front has dropped into the Great Basin and pushed further south through most of the area. We do have showers behind the cold front along with colder temperatures across the northern half of the area. The showers will be generally rain showers in the lower elevations and snow up in the higher elevations of northeast Utah and Wyoming. We are expecting anywhere from 5 to 10 inches of new snow or more in some areas, so definitely a cold and significant front for those regions. We'll also continue to see breezy and dry conditions over western areas of the Great Basin today. On Wednesday, winds will decrease significantly. However, we will still see some breezy and dry conditions over central areas of the basin and continued showers over eastern areas. We also could see some isolated showers over eastern Utah again on Thursday. Looking at the smoke forecast for later this afternoon, the main smoke impacts will be near areas where we have fires up across Idaho and across Utah. With the north to northeast winds, it will be pushing the smoke towards the southwest. We also have a fairly large area of blowing dust also over western Nevada, which will bring visibility restrictions, especially this morning, to those areas, which will also impact the slink fire. So even with those northeast winds, we're still getting some impacts to visibility on the western side of the Great Basin as well. Over the last 24 hours, we've seen showers and thunderstorms behind the cold front over parts of eastern Idaho, Wyoming, and into northeastern and eastern Utah. Again, this map does not account for the showers that are ongoing this morning across Utah, but some good wetting rains over parts of Idaho, Wyoming, and northeast Utah. Great Basin fire activity yesterday was a light to moderate with 20 new fires for over 2,000 acres across the Great Basin. Several new large fires emerged across the Great Basin over the last couple of days, especially over northern Utah, up into Idaho, and we still obviously continue to have the slink fire on the western side of the Great Basin. Over the last 7 days, we've seen very dry conditions across the Great Basin, just some showers over northern and eastern areas, and then even over the last month, again, very dry conditions over the southern half of the region. Current fuel conditions are showing ERCs above the 90th to 97th percentile still. Again, this does not account for the showers and cooler temperatures that have moved in over Wyoming into northeast Utah, so I expect those fire danger indices to modify here in the coming days. Otherwise, we will stay very critical across the rest of the Great Basin that will not be seeing the increased humidity or any precipitation. Current ERCs are still well above normal and near or above records across the Great Basin, but again, we will start to see these ERCs over the eastern part of the region come down. 100-hour fuel moisture is still also critical across the region, and we do still have a fuels and fire behavior advisory in effect for the Great Basin for Utah into southern and eastern Nevada. The satellite picture from this morning shows the cold front has now dropped into central areas of the Great Basin and will continue to sweep to the southeast, bringing much colder temperatures and obviously some precipitation and cloud cover to the eastern half of the region. But areas across Nevada and western Idaho will see very limited effects from this cold front with respect to moisture. RH will still remain low, and overnight recovery is still poor to moderate. Looking at the weather pattern for later today, again, you can see those showers and any increased humidity will be located across Utah today. We do still have plenty of high risk over southern and central areas of the Great Basin for these strong winds today that will be gusting over 40 or 50 miles per hour. We will also see some breezy conditions in the mid to higher slopes of the Sierra. However, most of those stronger winds will be on the west side of the crest. Significant cooling will occur today behind the cold front, so we are expecting high temperatures to only reach the 50s and 60s over much of Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, into northern and eastern Nevada, and only the low 70s across western Nevada and mid 80s in the far south. So significant cold front moving through the region this week. Looking at our wind gusts for later today, you can see again the strongest winds are over southern and eastern Nevada into western and northern Utah. These areas in the brown are gusts above 50 miles per hour. Yesterday with the cold front, we did see most gusts between 50 and 60 miles per hour, but some areas over the higher terrain of northern Utah did see gusts above 70 and 80 miles per hour. Relative humidity today will remain in the single digits to low teens over the western half of the Great Basin, and we will see definitely some better moisture across parts of Utah into eastern Idaho and Wyoming, where RH will remain above 20% today. As we move into Wednesday, this cold front moves through the entire Great Basin, we still have some moisture wrapping around the area of low pressure, so post-frontal showers over parts of southern and eastern Utah tomorrow, but we will still have the windy and dry conditions over southern areas of the Great Basin. Winds tomorrow will not be nearly as strong as they are today, but we will be seeing gusts above 30 miles per hour. And you can see that picture here showing those gusty winds over much of southern and eastern Nevada into western Utah. We'll also see gusts further north over parts of northern Utah and eastern Idaho above 30 miles per hour, but relative humidity will be a little bit higher in those areas. But you can still see the very dry conditions over western areas of Nevada and then up into Idaho. As we move into Thursday, this cold front continues to push to the south and east. However, under this area of low pressure, we continue the possibility of showers over the eastern half of Utah on Thursday. No high risk, but you can see obviously fuels will modify over the eastern side of the Great Basin, but still remain very critical over central and western areas. On Thursday, winds will decrease across the area. We still have general westerly or northerly flow across the Great Basin depending on where you are, but wind speeds will definitely decrease, and still low relative humidity over the western half of the region and remaining higher over much of Utah into eastern Idaho and Wyoming. Forecast amounts of precipitation over the next few days are shown here, with any precipitation obviously over Utah, but the best chances of wetting rain or higher elevation snowfall being confined to eastern Utah, and then much heavier precipitation as you get further east into Colorado. As we move into Friday, we do have high pressure rebuilding, so we will start to see those temperatures start rebounding by Thursday and start really warming as we go Friday through the weekend with drier conditions across the region. On Saturday, that ridge of high pressure continues to build, so gradually warming temperatures. We'll see valley temperatures get back up into the low 90s and generally upper 90s to near 100 over southern areas. And you can see how eastern areas of the Great Basin are continuing to dry out as we move through the weekend. As we move into Sunday, we do have an area of low pressure moving into the northwest. This may allow winds to increase over parts of western northern areas, and we'll continue to watch that. Also on Monday, as that front pushes more to the east, we could see some showers in the far north and also some breezier conditions, but again, we'll continue to monitor that as we go through this week. The 7-day total precip is not any different than the 3-day. Again, all of those showers happening here within the next few days. The 8 to 14-day outlook from September 15th through the 21st shows drier and warmer conditions expected for the Great Basin, but as we have fronts move through the area in some fashion, we could see some brief periods of cooler temperatures or increased winds. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.